You just typed a 3-paragraph confession to a Reddit user named PizzaLover99. You told them about your anxiety, your relationship doubts, and that weird dream you keep having. You were completely honest. Then, 5 minutes later, your mom calls. She asks, "How are you?" And you say, "I'm good, just busy." We have a cultural script that says we're supposed to be closest to the people who raised us, but be honest, how many of you feel safer being vulnerable with a complete stranger in a comment section than you do at your own dinner table? You aren't a bad person. You aren't fake. You are reacting to a psychological phenomenon called the stranger on the train effect. And it's not happening because you don't love your family. It's happening because your brain knows something you're afraid to admit. Intimacy has a cost, and right now, you can't afford to pay it. Let's look at the mechanics of why this happens. It starts with consequence management. When you tell your partner or your parents that you're struggling, that information has a blast radius. If you tell your mom you're depressed, she might worry, she might try to fix it, she might bring it up every Thanksgiving for the next 10 years. There is a history tax attached to that truth. But a stranger? A stranger has no blast radius. If PizzaLover99 judges you, you close the tab. If they give you bad advice, you ignore it. Purely psychologically, this connects to what we know about secret habits. We learned from the psychology of secret eating that shame grows in the dark. We hide things from the people whose opinions matter most to us because their judgment carries the most weight. You trust strangers because their judgment carries zero weight. It is intimacy without risk. You get the dopamine hit of being seen without the anxiety of being managed. But there's a deeper reason, and it has to do with identity. Your family doesn't just see you, they see a version of you that has been building for 20 or 30 years. If you were the smart kid, or the messy one, or the peacemaker growing up, your family has a mental file, a schema that expects you to stay in that box. When you try to be vulnerable in a way that doesn't fit their version of you, it creates cognitive dissonance in them. They might reject it or try to pull you back into your old role. A stranger on the internet, they have no file on you. They have no previous version to compare you to. To a stranger, you are a blank slate. You can show up exactly as you are today. You don't have to fight through decades of who you used to be just to get a point across. It is the only place where you are allowed to change without explaining yourself. We can also look at this through the lens of regulation. Think about the psychology of people who love cats. We know that some nervous systems regulate through connection without intrusion. Cats offer presence without demanding a performance. Family relationships are high demand. They require emotional labor. You have to check your tone. You have to ask how they are. You have to manage the dynamic. Internet strangers are the cats of human interaction. They don't ask to borrow money. They don't need you to come to their wedding. They don't need you to regulate their emotions. It is a transaction of pure empathy. You give truth, they give acknowledgement, and then you both walk away. For someone who is burnt out on performing, maybe you're a parentified child who grew up managing everyone else's feelings, this low-stakes connection feels like water in a desert. So, is this bad? Are we all doomed to be lonely people typing into the void? Not necessarily. You aren't rejecting real intimacy. You are using the internet as a practice room. You are testing out your truth on an audience that can't hurt you, to see how it sounds, to see if the world ends when you admit you're not okay. And when you realize the world doesn't end, you might eventually find the courage to say those words to the people who actually matter. So go ahead and tell the stranger. Get it off your chest. But ask yourself, what would happen if you trusted the people in your real life with that same version of you? It might be messy, it might have consequences, but it might be real. If you've ever told a stranger something you couldn't tell your mom, let me know in the comments. Ironically, I'm a stranger, so you can trust me. Subscribe for more deep dives into your own brain. See you in the next one.